Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'll be trying out the XENIA Canary branch of the emulator for the Xbox 360. Now, I did see this video from Digital Foundry and it gave me the idea to give it a try. I've never really had any real cause to try out the Xbox 360 emulator, but because Red Dead Redemption runs so well on this emulator, I thought I'd give it a try. As you can see, I'm familiar with the RPCS3, but it's a lot better on this emulator itself. Now, I always like to show my settings, so this is the reason why I'm showing you this. The XENIA emulator does not have a graphical user interface, so you do have to kind of change things by a config file. So if you go to the root directory of the emulator itself, you'll have a config file. Now, there are some settings you want to change. I just want to quickly explain. So the first setting you want to do is how you want to scale your game. Now, the default resolution for this emulator is 1280 by 720, and if you just press Control and F, so you bring up the file defined function, you just write in the word scale, you'll find your X and Y axis. Now I've put this to 3, and what that does is it scales your default resolution by 3 times. The maximum is 4, so you can scale the games all the way up to 5K, and this is how you achieve 3840 by 2160, otherwise 4K, by scaling the X and Y axis to 3. So that's what I've done. You can also search VSync and you can disable that as well. All you've got to write is VSync false. That will disable it. If you want to have it on, just write true and it will be re-enabled. So that's pretty much it for the emulator settings itself. That's how I got the game to run at 4K. On top of that, you can actually have patches for each individual game. So I'm going to be playing Red Dead Redemption. So what you need to do is go through the patches that you want to enable and change anything that says false to true. For me, I skip the intro because I don't want to see that every time I boot the game, so I've changed that to true. There's a few others in here that I actually use. So there is things like skip grass occlusion, disable shadows. If you're having issues with performance, you can actually enable these and those will disable those effects and you can get some extra performance. But of course, I got a pretty decent rig, so I don't need to do that. What I have done, however, is disable motion blur and depth of field. The reason the game just looks really blurry with that, so I've disabled that. I've also unlocked FPS. You just put that to true, and that allows you to break the 64 FPS cap. There is a little bit of a drawback with that though, because the game can kind of go out of sync with the voice acting. So just be aware of that. It is best to have some kind of VSync on, like 120 FPS or 60 FPS. But to launch the game, it's very easy. You literally just press File and open your game, and you point to wherever your game is installed or wherever you've dumped your ISO, and you can launch the game. So that is pretty much it. I just wanted to show the settings off because it is an emulator without a graphical user interface. I can't just show you the settings with like image files that I usually do. So this is Red Dead Redemption at 4K, unlocked frame rate. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Mr. Marston, how are you?
Good, Mr. McFarlane. How are you?
I'm well. Would you mind riding with me to Armadillo? I've got to get some supplies and I could do with the company.
Of course.
You can take the reins. It wouldn't do for a terrifying bounty hunter such as yourself to be seen driven around by a woman. Take the reins, Mr. Marston. If you don't mind, I'd really like to get moving. You're looking much better, considering you were almost buzzard food a couple days ago.
I have you to thank for that, miss.
So do tell me, have you needlessly risked your life since we last spoke?
No, miss, I have not.
Well, that's a relief. Perhaps there's hope for you yet.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Oh, there's always hope, Mr. Marston. You can't be a rancher in this kind of country if you don't believe that.
An admirable attitude, miss.
I suppose so. I can't think of any other way to stay sane, to be frank. What about you? Have you ever given up hope altogether?
Hope hasn't really entered into it. It's not really something I think about.
A peculiar outlook. I can't really say I understand you.
I can't always say I do either.
Oh, don't be so deliberately enigmatic.
I'm not, miss.
Yes, you are. You are being deliberately obscure as a substitute for having a personality.
I just know there are two theories to arguing with women, and neither one works.
I'm not even going to dignify that gibberish with a response. How well do you know New Austin?
I don't. We talked about coming down here many times, but never made it.
Who's we?
Me and the folks I used to work with. Yeah, New Austin. The last real outlaw country, where the old ways still hold true. You do a man wrong, he'll shoot you for it. You do a man right, well, he still may shoot you for it. But at least you have an idea of what's right and what's wrong there.
Dear, oh dear, Mr. Marston. What dreadful novel did you get that romanticized drivel out of? Those days are long gone, if they were ever here at all. According to Paul, those days were just people shooting each other because they lost at cards. We'll be lucky if our ranch survives another 5 years. Businessmen are the new cowboys. You look like a man who's been through the mill.
Thank you.
I mean, you've lived some life. I'm 27 years old and I have rarely left Hennigan's stead. Although many years ago we did briefly employ a French governess. Well, I think she was French. She said she was French, but she spoke Russian. That was when Paul thought I would become a lady.
A change of pasture doesn't always make for a fatter calf.
I know, and I wouldn't change my life for all the money in the world. I'm just saying, sometimes I wish I'd been, well, braver. Been to more places, seen more things.
If you ask me, it usually takes more strength to stay than to run, Miss McFarlane.
So this is Armadillo. Manhattan it is not, but it does okay for us. Most important thing for you right now is getting yourself into Dr. Johnson's office to purchase some medicine. The first one's on me.
Thank you, miss. I'll pay you back.
I'm sure you shall. The doc's a good fellow. He saved your life, so be polite to him. Meet me in front of the general store when you're done.
Howdy. Howdy!
Just finished helping a patient. How can I help you?
Howdy, friend.
You need something for that gout? I hope that helps.
Thank you.
Good to see you again. Of course, I was the man they turned to after Walter's last rampage. I'm
Hey there.
Well, thanks for driving me. It was nice to be able to enjoy the view for once, and a little company never hurts now and again.
You're more than welcome, miss. Least I can do. Thank you for the medicine.
Why don't you have a look around Armadillo? You can always take a stagecoach back to the ranch later.
I might just do that. Travel safely, miss.
Try not to get yourself shot. I won't be around to save you this time.
Blessings to you.
Excuse me.
Hey, hey, you got a visitor.
Shut up, you! Now, what you want?
My name's John Marston. You wanted to speak to me.
I did?
Apparently so.
Why?
I guess because we're both in the business of the law.
You that fella from the train company?
No, I'm from Fort Mercer.
Fort Mercer? You them one of them Williamson boys?
Calm down.
Go on, shoot him, mister. Shoot him.
Come on, what, you getting cute with me, boy?
What's going on here?
I got me one of them Williamson boys.
I got me one of them idiots who give marshals a bad name.
Jonah, put your gun down. You must be the man from Blackwater.
Yes, sir. Listen, that dog ain't too bright, but he seems loyal.
Jonah, get out of here for a minute.
Yes, sir, Mr. Johnson, sir. And you. Oh, I done seen enough of your hide around here, friend.
I think there's some school children down the way you can go and frighten.
Oh, hardy fucking har. Dickhead.
What are you doing here, Mr. Marston? Apart from frightening my deputies.
I'm here to capture or kill Bill Williamson.
Okay.
Can you help me?
He's outside my jurisdiction. He's in the next county. Of course, Bill Williamson and his boys have tended to keep themselves away from my town.
So you're happy to have him out there?
Well, I ain't happy, but I also ain't suicidal. My job is to keep this town safe, not clean up all of these 3 counties. It's hard enough around here.
You know, I hear you speak, and suddenly I'm reminded of how some of the people I respected most in my life had a problem with authority. What's wrong with you?
Well, I'm sure you and your fine friends have enjoyed spending your time running around pursuing noble causes. My cause is to keep this town from turning into a living hell for the folks who live here. Whole world has problems, mister, and I'm here doing what I can.
Why? What's happening?
Right now, I got the railway, the people who pay my salary, trying to get me to turn a blind eye to them burning down settlements up there. I got a bunch of cattle rustlers out near Box Canyon needs shutting down. Not forgetting the gang that keeps murdering homesteaders out in the back country. And I got a bunch of hoods over in the saloon, drunk, threatening to shoot up the whole town. That's all I got today. But it's early yet. Give me a couple more days. There'll be more.
All right, tell you what. Let's go deal with them hoods in the saloon. Then we'll discuss Williamson.
Okay, boy. You're a persistent little cuss, ain't you?
Only when things matter.
Come on then, Marston. Follow me.
So who are we looking for?
A bunch of 2-bit hoodlums, led by this fella called Walton. Goddamn road agents who prey on the stages coming in and out of town. Drivers in Armadillo spend more time with their hands in the air than on the reins these days.
And you're happy to let them drink in your saloon?
Happy? No. But the way I figure it, better they're carousing in there than out robbing decent folk.
That's an interesting approach to law enforcement.
I do what I can, Mr. Marston. We ain't the government.
There's the dumb rat bastard now. Let's follow him. See what kind of hole he crawls into.
Let's go, Marston. I've been after that son of a bitch for months. him! He's seen us! Come on, don't lose him! I'm getting after him. Catch me up. What are you doing back there, Marston?
If Walton's as bad as you say he is, why don't we just beef him now while we got the chance?
Because that ain't how the law works.
Is that right, Marshal?
And alive, he can still talk.
Doesn't sound like he's a man to be reasoned with.
He ain't. But a few days of my hospitality and he'll be telling me what I need to know. Walton's gang's been growing fast.
Outlawing's easy money for easy work.
Cholla Springs, Gap Tooth Ridge, these boys get around. Walton's the start, but there's plenty more where he came from. Headed for Pleasant's house. Let's stop so we can get a better look.
Looks like we got company, boys.
Damn. Take cover. We'll work our way up this hill.
Take cover behind that wagon to your right. Behind the crate. I'll back you up to hell's back door, Walton.
You're dead, friend!
Your clothes are gonna be a lot redder in a minute. Blast you.
Walton's inside the house.
Not a bad shot, Mr. Marston. Why don't you check in with me next time you're in town?
I don't want to be no policeman, Marshal.
Nor did I, my friend. I can promise you that. I'll see you soon, Mr. Marston.
Come on. Oh, now.
Who did?
He's missing. He's only a youngster. My boy is missing.
Where? Who took him?
Them people in the hills. Them hills near Hanging Rock. They took him.
Can't the police force help you?
No, they can't even help themselves. Please, sir. My son is missing. I need your help.
If I find him, I'll bring him back to you.